Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. I have a channel message for you, and I'm going to go over the cards and we'll talk about the message. The first card I have for you is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Namib. And her message is, if it's not going to matter in a million years, it doesn't matter today. A lot of times we think that somebody cared that we failed statistics, or we didn't make it in law school, or we, missed a question, or we have a run in our pantyhose, or, our hair is out of place. And I can just go on and on about all of the things that we think that somebody care about, but they don't. Nobody cares because they're too busy trying to figure out their own life. They're too busy trying to get the lipstick off their own teeth, trying to figure out what they need to do, correct their own mistakes. So get out your head, darling. Get out of your head and think about 3 of the biggest mistakes you've ever made, and you think, oh my God, I can't believe I failed this class. I can't believe I didn't take this job, or I didn't do this, or no. Just want you to take a second. Think of 3 things in your life where you feel like, oh my God, I can't believe that I was so dumb that I did that. And then I want you to write down 3 lessons that you learned from those 3 things, because you really, you didn't make a mistake, you learned a lesson. So I recently did this for myself because I was thinking, oh, why did I stop doing my magazine? You know what? I've come to the conclusion, I have never made a single decision in my life based on money. And I think that's just who I am. Like, at first I was like, why did I let it go? Why did I just know? I've always been a person who has lived from my heart. And I'm always going to be that person, right? I'm always going to be rich because I live from my heart. I live from my truth. And I know that when I leave planet Earth, I can look my spirit team and I can look God in the eye and say, look, I did my best. Whether it was good or bad, it was my best. So forgive yourself for scrolling, is it scrolling? Yeah, scrolling through social media, or maybe you had some addictions at some point in your life. Whatever it is, child, forgive yourself, because guess what? If it's not going to matter in a million years, it doesn't matter today. Child, if it's not going to matter next week, if it's not going to matter, 2 hours from now, just let it go. That person that pulled in front of you, or maybe you pulled in front of them, don't waste your time obsessing over things that do not matter. You can't change the past, and you can't change the future. So you just focus on now and let it go. But when I say let it go, I mean learn a lesson first, because just think about it. You know what? In the future, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, and E. So this is about letting go things. So what if you didn't do well in the test? So what if you didn't get the job? So what if you made a mistake? So what if you miscounted? Whatever. Just let it go. Now, the next card I have is, your wealth is weaved into the fabric of your earth suit. You know what, guys? I got a really interesting download about this, and I want to read it because I definitely don't want to get this wrong. It says, your wealth is weaved into the fabric of your earth suit. You can't make a bad decision. There is no right decision. Simply follow your heart and do your best. Oh, and I was thinking about Barry White. Barry White said that when Michael Jackson was thinking about leaving the Jackson 5, everybody was telling him he should leave. His family was like, no, you can't break up the group. Like, this is insane. And he felt that Michael Jackson felt that he was no longer growing. So he went to Barry White, and they called Barry White Uncle Barry. And he asked him, he said, I have this album inside of me, and I'm thinking about leaving the group. And he said, but no one wants me to leave. And he said, what if, no one buys the album, and what if it's a flop? take a moment to visit my Etsy shop, Cassandra Magic World, and you will see a plethora of metaphysical tools to align with your goals and your dreams. Each magic talisman comes with instructions as well as a feng shui chart and how to make changes in your home and how to charge your sigil. And Barry White said to him, he said, even if no one buys the album, you have to do it for yourself. Listen, guys, if no one watch your channel, if no one buy your book, if no one, it doesn't matter. Don't you understand? This is just all about you. And it goes back to the first thing I said about if it's not gonna matter in a million years. It's not gonna matter, next week, right? Let it go, because everything you're doing, we are having an experience, right? And you're just moving forward. So he says, even if no one buys the album, you have to do it for yourself. You have everything you need to be whatever you want to be in life. Like, you have everything you need right now to, if you want to go back to school, if you want to be a writer, a painter, or whatever you want to be, you already have everything to do that. Success is a circle, and there are no wrong turns. The only mistake you can make is to remain in a state of indecision. So if you're just like still debating on what you should do, and that now you're gonna find yourself feeling stuck because you're afraid of making a mistake that's not gonna matter anyway, right? And then the other part of it that I thought, this is the part I really want to read. Oh, I don't know, this was a download. Know your worth and demand payment for your services. And your earth suit is to be respected. It is your most valuable asset. The rules of an eternal life do not apply to your earth suit. It has a mission and an expiration date. Your earth suit has a mission and an expiration date. That kind of messed me up. I'm like, I hadn't thought about it like that, right? Treat this journey with the utmost respect. Be careful of people who will exploit your gift, your talents for their own benefit. Your earth suit is priceless, but it is not timeless. Your earth suit is priceless, but it is not timeless. Make people pay you what you deserve for your time and your energy. Yes. I think a lot of times as artists, we struggle with that, but I thought that was super deep. So your earth suit is priceless, but it is not timeless. It has an expiration date and a mission and a purpose. And then the last card I have, I think I talked about, no, I did not. Discover what you do better than most. This is your path to prosperity. Now, the thing that this is Jungle Beauty Guy's guitar, right? You know what I think is really interesting? Discover what you do most. This is your path to prosperity. I like to always tell people, you don't need to know tonight what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Just know what you want to do in the next 5 minutes. That's going to lead to the next 5 minutes. Like, what do you really want to do? Because it's going to change as you evolve, right? I started off as a social worker. I wanted to be a social worker because I was a troubled teenager, and I wanted to help other troubled teenage girls. And as I healed from being a social worker, I was like, all right, get out of here, child. This is just this. Yeah. This is too much for Cassandra, right? The healed version of me didn't want to be a social worker anymore. So I moved into teaching. I wanted to, and the truth is, I didn't teaching was not on my list of things I wanted to do. I literally, I made an assessment of myself. I said, okay, I don't want to work around blood or dirt. Yeah, I'm not a hospital girl. I don't want to work anywhere near cadavers. I don't want to work any place where I have to get my hands dirty. I was real prissy. Listen, I promise you, I had no title. I just had this long list. I said, I know that I like to laugh. For the first 20 things on my list, I just said, I want to laugh. I want to laugh. I want an exchange of ideas, and I want to laugh. That was it. My first 20. And then I said, okay, I want to be able to dress the way I want to dress, and I want to work in groups. And I said that I want things to move frequently. Like, I know when I was a social worker, sometimes I would have cases for years. I would have the parents, and then I would end up having their children, and it was just really, it's just really getting on my nerve. Like, I just really just felt like I need the energy to shift. So I said, I want the energy to shift, and I want an exchange of ideas, and I want to laugh and have a good time. And I remember I wrote this list because I read it in some book. It was a feng shui book. It was a long time ago, and it was just very frivolous. But they said, write all the things that you want, not the things you don't want. Like, do you want to work inside or outside? Do you want the days to be the same? Do you want the days to change? Do you want to talk to people one-on-one, or would you like to work in a group? Maybe like a truck driver, they may have a route where they get to work alone and drive their truck. Like, you really need to think in terms of the type of energy that you want to be around, as opposed to giving it a title. And I don't remember where I read this, but it said, once you give the type of job you want a title, unless it's what you really, really want, right? You block the universe. Just say, I want to work, around young. Some people like working with children. They don't like working with adults because they like the energy of children. Some people don't want to work with kids because they got sticky hands and they have a lot of emotions. You see what I'm saying? What age group? Do you want to work inside or outside? Do you want to work by yourself, or do you want to work around or do you want to work with a lot of people? Do you want to work with inside or outside? Maybe like shoveling snow. Do you like being alone? Do you want to see? You understand that what the type of conditions, the seasons, how you want to dress. Like, think about all of these type of things. And another thing I like to tell people when people say, "Oh, I want my own business. I don't want to be bothered with anybody." Let me tell you something. Every customer is your boss. Every customer. So instead of having one boss or two bosses, you're gonna have however many customers you have. You don't get away from not being able to get along with other people and being able to make it in this world financially. So these are some of the things to think about. Oh, I didn't finish telling you this before I go. So you think about the conditions that you want to work under. Oh, the hours. Are you a morning person, noon person, night person? Do you want a flexible shift? And then you write this list of the optimal working conditions. Don't give it a name. Put it in a green sock. I'm telling you guys, put it in a green sock and hide it. Okay? I did this a long time ago. I don't even remember where I read it. I did it and I got fired. Yes, I got fired. It was a long story. We won't talk about it. But everything shifted. Everything. I earned 3 times more money. Everything shifted. So I'm telling you, well, I know you might not want to get fired, but I don't know who thought of this spell or where I read it from or whatever. But I'm telling you, the next job, it fit my description to the T. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing you, darlings, in the next video.